Good morning, students. Now we are into the fourth chapter in the history part, that is Mughal Empire. So, since we had a written exam test, that is periodic test 2, so we are unable to cover the two or three topics, the last topic in this chapter. But including that, we will glance once again the important highlights of the Mughal Empire chapter. So, before moving on to the next new chapter, I would like to discuss the important points which we studied in this Mughal Empire chapter. So, let us discuss which are the points we discussed in this chapter. So, students, in the Mughal Empire, we saw which are the rulers like Babur, and Akbar, Shahjahan, Humayun, Jahangir, and Aurangzeb. These are the main rulers who come across in the Mughal Empire. So we'll be knowing the important highlights of these Mughal rulers now. So students, in the beginning of the 16th century, what did the India was experiencing a phase of there was a political instability. Due to that, the local regional powers was engaged in the battles. So the power of the Delhi Sultans was confined to its capital and adjacent areas. So Ibrahim Lodi, the Sultan of that time, took the help of the governor of Punjab in order to from the Babur to throw out Ibrahim Lodi. The Sultan of Delhi at that time, the governor of the Punjab, took help of whom? Babur, to overthrow the Ibrahim Lodi. So, students, who was this Babur? Babur, who ruled 1522 1530, is the Mughal ruler. So, Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur was a descendant from the Turkish conqueror Timur on his father's side, and is a Mongol ruler from his Genghis Khan's mother's side. So Babur lost his father at an early age, all you know. So he became the ruler of Fargana, but he did not give up his difficulties with great courage and determination. He became the ruler of Kabul. So in 1524, Babur crossed the Indus region and captured Punjab and returned to Kabul. In 1526, what happened? After defeating the Daulat Lodi, Babur returned to India. Though his army was very small, but he defeated the Ibrahim Lodi. Next, the first battle of Panipat we saw. It is an indication of beginning of the Mughal rule in India. So Babur faced many challenges and he fought against the Rajputs and the leadership of Rana Sanga, Afghans, and the Delhi was the major two threats in expanding in his empire against Babur's empire. Later, what happened? In 1527, the Rana Sangha of Mewar united the Rajput chieftains and challenged Babur at Kanwa, a village at near Agra. So the battle ended with the defeat of Rana Sangha. Is it? Next, this battle, what did it say? It gave strong hold towards the Delhi Agra region, and Babur continued to capture a number of forts like Gwalior, Dholpur, and Alwar. Next, in 1528, what happened? The Babur fought against another group of Rajputs at Chanderi, and he captured it. And Chanderi fort, Chanderi fort after a siege. Now, the Battle of Chanderi resulted in decline of Rajput rule completely. This is how the Rajput rule declined. Next, what he did in 1529, the Battle of Gagra, in which Babur defeated, combined the Afghan forces and the Nusrat Shah, the ruler of Bengal. So the Babur did manage to keep away from these people, away from the Delhi. Next, what happened? The Babur, with his skilled and efficient strategies, he defeated Lodis, Rajputs, Afghans. Though he had a small army, within a 4 years, short period of 4 years, he established his huge empire. So, at the time of his death, what happened? The Mughal Empire rule extended from Kabul in the west to Bihar in the east, and from the foothills Himalayas in the north to Gwalior in the south. By this, we can say he had a number of battles with a small army, by having a small army, but he fought bravely and by having various strategies to form a well administration. Next comes the Humayun. Humayun ruled between 1530 to 1540, again 5055 to 1556. So Naziruddin Muhammad Humayun is the full name of his name. So he was the eldest of four sons of Babur, and he succeeded his father to the throne in which year 1530. And though the empire was loosely knit and he lacked foresight, but that is he did not have a future proper plan in administrating and controlling his the military forces. So Humayun had to face many challenges due to this. So growing power of the Afghans in eastern India and defeated by the who defeated Babur in Battle of Gagra, the Afghans reorganized themselves in Bihar and Bengal, and their leader Sher Shah posed a threat to supremacy of the Mughal Empire. So Bahadur Shah, the ruler of Gujarat and Malwa, so made these two people the most difficult task for the Humayun to face them, and that is the challenge of Sher Khan, the Afghan leader in the eastern India, and Bahadur Shah, the ruler of Gujarat and Malwa. So as Babur had a political strategy, the Humayun did had a great strategy, and his opponents took full advantage of this. By this, what happens? He started his military expedition in 1532 and with the Battle of Dadra, where the Afghan forces were defeated by Humayun. Then Gujarat emerged as a challenge. When the Mughal army reached Gujarat, Bahadur Shah felt he ran away without offering any resistance. Then Sher Khan, in absence of Humayun invasion Bengal, Humayun started marching towards Bengal, where in absence of Sher Khan. Next, Sher Khan returned to Bihar with a large war booty.